Welcome to Millennium Daily News. This is Ifat Fatima with top stories. Trump's crisis spurs talk of White House departures. China military criticizes wrong US moves on Taiwan South China Sea. Baltimore removes 4 Confederate statues after Virginia rally. Saudi border to open for Qatari pilgrims attending Hajj. Prime Minister meets President, discusses flood situation. And Bangladesh youths in Group C in ICC Under-19 World Cup. Those were the headlines, now the detail. President Donald Trump's turnabout on the violence in Charlottesville, Virginia has rocked this administration, leading to rising speculation that some top officials may be looking for a way out. A parade of business executives broke ties with Trump a day after he blamed white nationalists and counter-protesters in equal measure for the weekend clashes that left one woman dead. Now frustrated aides could be next. Trump's remarks have left some wondering if sticking by the president comes at too high a cost to their reputations. The wrong actions of the United States on Taiwan, its South China Sea patrols and deployment of an advanced anti-missile system in South Korea have had a large negative influence on military trust, a senior Chinese officer said. Fan Changlong, a vice chairman of China's powerful Central Military Commission, told Joseph Dunford, chairman of the U.S. Joint Chiefs of Staff, that mutual trust mechanisms between the two militaries had continued to improve, China's defense ministry said. But wrong actions on the Taiwan issue, the United States deploying the THAAD system around China, U.S. ships and aircrafts activities in the South China Sea, the United States close-in surveillance in the sea and air near China have had a large negative influence on bilateral military ties and mutual trust, Fan added. Steve Bannon disparaged the mindset that motivates white supremacists in an interview published Wednesday, calling the group a collection of clowns. Ethno-nationalism, it's losers, Bannon reportedly said in an interview published by the progressive magazine American Prospect. The White House chief strategist's comments follow a weekend of turmoil in the United States after a white nationalist rally in Charlottesville, Virginia, turned violent and forced a state of emergency. One woman was killed and several of her fellow counter-protesters were injured when a car plowed through a crowd. In the days following the incident, President Donald Trump made a series of remarks, some off the cuff. They were strongly rebuked by politicians from both sides of the walkway. Baltimore removed 4 monuments to the pro-slavery Civil War Confederacy before dawn on Wednesday, working quickly so the city could avoid protests like the one organized by white nationalists that turned deadly in Charlottesville, Virginia. The statues, including one of General Robert E. Lee and another of General Thomas Stonewall Jackson, were taken off their bases in Wayne Park, Dell, beside the Baltimore Museum of Art and carried away on a flatted truck. Baltimore Mayor Catherine Poole said she and the city council decided to remove the monuments quickly and quietly. Saudi Arabia will open its border with Qatar to allow Muslim pilgrims to attend the annual Hajj in Makkah beginning this month, state media say. The announcement came after the first high-level meeting between the neighbors since Saudi Arabia and 3 other states cut all links in June. They accuse Qatar of aiding terrorists, a charge the emirate denies. The closure of the Saudi border has forced Qatar to import food by sea and air for its population of 2.7 million. Qatari pilgrims wishing to attend the Hajj will be able to pass through the Salwa border crossing without needing electronic permits, a statement on the official Saudi press agency said. They would also be welcomed through Saudi Arabia's airports, it added. Viewers, going for a short break, we will be back with the headlines. Election Commission neither to bow down nor go to anyone, CC. 37 dead, over 3 million affected in flood. Apple boss Tim Cook joins Donald Trump condemnation. New peptide could help fight drug-resistant superbugs.
ফ্রেন্ডস ডেভেলপমেন্ট
একটি স্বপ্নের ঠিকানা, একটি সুন্দর আবাসস্থল। ফ্রেন্ডস ডেভেলপমেন্ট আপনার স্বপ্নের বাস্তব রূপ দেয়।
নতুন ডুপ্লেক্স, অ্যাপার্টমেন্ট, কমার্শিয়াল বিল্ডিং নির্মাণের জন্য নির্ভরযোগ্য একটি প্রতিষ্ঠান।
ফ্রেন্ডস ডেভেলপমেন্ট
অত্যাধুনিক ডিজাইন, সর্বশেষ প্রযুক্তির সমন্বয়ে আমাদের কর্মতৎপরতা কনক্রিট, সিমেন্ট আর ইস্পাতের মজবুত বন্ধনে
গড়ে উঠুক আপনার বাড়ি। রোদ বৃষ্টি সহ সকল বৈরিতার বিরুদ্ধে করি সঠিক ট্রিটমেন্ট।
আপনার শহরের প্রাইম লোকেশনে রয়েছে আমাদের অ্যাপার্টমেন্ট।
আপনার কষ্টার্জিত টাকা এবং আমাদের নির্ভেজাল শ্রমে নির্মিত হোক আপনার স্বপ্নের বাড়িটি। আপনার জীবন হোক সুন্দর এবং আনন্দময়।
আমাদের ঠিকানা ফ্রেন্ডস ডেভেলপমেন্ট, 211 ইস্ট 43 স্ট্রিট, সুইট বি, 507, নিউ ইয়র্ক, NY 10017, ফোন 718-893020।
ইমেল friendsdevelopment@optimum.net। নিশা ট্রেডিং একটি আন্তর্জাতিক মানের গার্মেন্টস প্রোডাক্ট আমদানি ও রপ্তানিকারক প্রতিষ্ঠান। ইউরোপ, এশিয়া ও আমেরিকা সহ বিশ্বের নানা স্থানে বাইং, মার্চেন্টাইজিং এবং ম্যানুফ্যাকচারিং করে থাকে। সর্বাধুনিক প্রযুক্তিতে তৈরি বিভিন্ন ডিজাইনের পোশাক বাজারজাতকরণ এবং বিপণন এই প্রতিষ্ঠানের লক্ষ্য। প্রতিষ্ঠানের বৈশিষ্ট্য: উন্নতমান নিশ্চিতকরণ, টেকসই পণ্যের নিশ্চয়তা, নির্ধারিত সময়ে পণ্য সরবরাহ, লেনদেনের স্বচ্ছতা ও বিশ্বস্ততা। যোগাযোগের ঠিকানা: USA কর্পোরেট অফিস, 1747 থার্ড স্ট্রিট সুইট 215, জ্যাকসন হাইট, নিউ ইয়র্ক, NY 11372। বাংলাদেশ কর্পোরেট অফিস, বাড়ি নং 145, সপ্তম তলা, রোড নম্বর 12, ব্লক জি, দক্ষিণ বনশ্রী, খিলগাঁও, ঢাকা 1219।
Welcome back to Millennium Daily News. Now news on Bangladesh topic. Chief Election Commissioner K.M. Nurul Huda said the Election Commission will neither bow down nor mediate any election-related issue among political parties. It's not the Election Commission's duty to mediate among political parties. We don't need to go to anyone as the Election Commission is an independent body, K.M. Nurul Huda told with electronic media persons and senior journalists at Nirbachan Bhavan conference room lately. Neither we bow down to any pressure nor go to any person, he added. The Election Commission will take decisions whether army will be deployed or not during the election, the CEC said, adding, if necessary, army will be deployed. About the type of government during the election, he said the EC has no rule regarding the nature of government that will remain during the election. The Commission cannot play a role in this regard, he said. In the space of barely a week, some 37 people have died across 21 districts of Bangladesh during the latest prevailing period of intensification in the country's annual monsoon-induced floods. Briefing reporters after yet another day that contributed to increasing the death toll, Additional Secretary to the Disaster Management and Relief Ministry Ghulam Mustafa revealed a stream of grim statistics. During the briefing at the Secretariat, Ghulam Mustafa also confirmed 37 people had died in the floods, while 752,000 families were partially affected by the flood. A total of 411,000 people had taken shelter in 1,599 shelter centers across the country, according to the Disaster Management and Relief Ministry. So far, they have distributed 3,255 metric tons of rice and over 1.32 crore packets of dry food among the flood-affected people, he added. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has met President Abdul Hamid at Banga Bhavan and discussed the country's existing flood situation. On her arrival at Banga Bhavan at 7:40 p.m., the Prime Minister was received by the President with flowers. Apart from the existing flood situation, Hasina also briefed the country's overall situation, reports UNB. President Press Secretary Jainal Abidin briefed reporters at the office about the meeting at about 8:30 p.m. Hasina said the government has taken all-out preparations to tackle the flood and its aftermath. She also told the president that there are enough food grains in government stock to face any exigency. She said instructions have already been given to local administrations and public representatives to take necessary measures to provide emergency assistance to the flood victims. The ventilator of Anisul Haq, Mayor of Dhaka North City Corporation, who is now in a London hospital ICU, will be removed at a convenient time on Thursday as doctors want to wake him up from medically induced sedation in a normal way, reports the UNB. Dr. Abdunun Tushar, a popular TV host of Bangladesh, provided the update in a Facebook post in the morning, saying it is a complex process. Doctors will keep working to bring back normalcy in his body gradually. We expect he will respond to medicines strongly, Dr. Tushar said, mentioning that he was given the responsibility to convey the updates to all. The other treatment processes will also continue, he added. Anisul, suffering from neurological problem for the last 2 months, was admitted to the hospital on August 13. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina called upon all to remain careful against the conspiracy to ruin the aspiration of the people and prospect of building a happy and prosperous Bangladesh. We want to take forward the country, but there are still some people who are out to push the country back. The countrymen must remain careful about them, she said in a discussion organized by Bangladesh Awami League on marking 42nd martyrdom anniversary of Father of the Nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, reports the BSS. Renewing her allegation that Khandakar Mushtaq and Ziaur Rahman had their part in the conspiracy to kill Father of the Nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, along with most of his family members, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina urged people to remain alert about those who want to push the country backward. Viewers, the Millennium Business News. Walmart Stores Incorporation reported its 12th straight quarterly increase in comparable sales, but margins fell as the retailer continued to cut prices and invest in its e-commerce operations. Shares of Walmart were down 2.4% at $79.07 in pre-market trading. Walmart said sales at U.S. stores open at least a year rose 1.8%, excluding fuel price fluctuations. That is stronger than market expectations for a rise of 1.7%, according to research firm Consensus Metrics. Net income attributable to Walmart during the second quarter ended July 31 fell 23% to $2.9 billion or 96% per share, from $3.7 billion or 1.21 per share a year earlier due to a loss from repurchasing debt after a bond tender office. Net income attributable to Walmart during the second quarter ended July 31 fell 23% to $2.9 billion or 96% per share, from $3.7 billion or 1.21 per share a year earlier due to a loss from repurchasing debt after a bond tender offer. Apple chief executive Tim Cook has become the latest boss to criticize President Donald Trump over his response to the white nationalist rallies in Virginia. Mr. Cook said he did not agree there was a moral equivalence between white supremacists and those who opposed them. Mr. Trump has disbanded 2 business councils after top bosses resigned. Mr. Cook said Apple will also make donations to human rights charities. In an email to staff obtained by BuzzFeed News, Mr. Cook said, "I disagree with the president and others who believe that there is a moral equivalence between white supremacists and Nazis, and those who oppose them by standing up for human rights." Korean car maker Hyundai is wading further into the electric vehicle market, promising a car that can go 500 km on each charge. Hyundai already has an electric model on the market, but its range lags behind its competitors' models. Along with its affiliate Kia, Hyundai is planning 31 eco-friendly models by 2020. The latest move comes amid increasing competition in the market for ecologically friendly cars. Hyundai's environmentally conscious new additions will include 3 plug-in hybrid vehicles, 8 battery-powered cars, and 2 fuel cell vehicles. Viewers, now Millennium Environment, Science and Technology News. A planetary takeover by ocean-dwelling algae 650 million years ago was the kick that transformed life on Earth. That's what geochemists argue in Nature this week, on the basis of invisibly small traces of biomolecules dug up from beneath the Australian desert. The molecules mark an explosion in the quantity of algae in the oceans. This in turn fueled a change in the food web that allowed the first microscopic animals to evolve, the authors suggest. This is one of the most profound ecological and evolutionary transitions in Earth's history. Lead researcher Joshan Brooks told the BBC's Science in Action program. The gas reserves in shale rocks in the UK have been hyped, an academic said. Professor John Underhill from Heriot-Watt University said the UK's potential shale deposits were likely to have been disrupted by shifts in the earth 55 million years ago. Professor Underhill said the government would be wise to formulate a plan B to fracking for future gas supplies, but the fracking firm Cordrilla said it would determine how much gas was present from its test drilling. Hydraulic fracturing or fracking is a technique designed to recover gas and oil from shale, a sedimentary rock found worldwide. Drug-resistant superbugs are one of the biggest challenges to global health. Naturally occurring antimicrobial peptides could be the key to fighting against these bacterial infections. Israeli researchers have synthesized the chains of amino acids, and they have found that they are best sequenced in a random mix. Senior lecturer at the Institute of Food Science Nutrition at the Faculty of Agriculture in the Hebrew University of Jerusalem, Dr. V. Hayoka, saying there are so many antimicrobial peptides that were discovered and isolated from many organisms, and what we have noticed that there is no consensus sequence or consensus structure for this kind of motif. The team from the Hebrew University of Jerusalem has found the peptides are very effective at stopping bacteria like superbug MRSA from growing. The peptides developed by the researchers are especially useful because their antimicrobial action works on all kinds of bacteria regardless of their cell structure. Viewers, now Millennium Sports News. Australia cricket team has arrived last night to play a 2-match test series against the Tigers after an 11-year break. Stephen Smith's men are scheduled to land at Hazrat Shahjalal International Airport around 10:30 p.m., leaving home following their week-long pre-tour training camp in Darwin. Ahead of the tour, a 2-member advanced security team led by Sim Carroll and Frank DeMasi arrived earlier and continued their inspection to confirm an alternative venue for the 2-day tour match on August 22-23, as the previously selected venue, Khan Shahid Osman Ali Stadium in Fatullah, has been waterlogged. Former Australian leg spinner Stuart McGill has turned down a Bangladesh offer to join the side ahead of two-test series against his home country, a senior cricket official said lately. Bangladesh were hoping to get some inside knowledge from McGill, who took 208 wickets in 44 tests for Australia before the crucial home series against Stephen Smith's team beginning later this month. McGill was expected to join another Australian, Mark O'Neill, on the Bangladesh backroom staff for the tour by the world number 4 ranked nation. Bangladesh have been without a spin bowling coach since the BCB sacked Sri Lankan Ruwan Kalpage, who failed to report for duty following a deadly Islamist extremist attack at a posh Dhaka cafe in July last year. The International Cricket Council has announced the schedule for the Under-19 World Cup, which will be held from January 13 to February 3, 2018 in New Zealand. Defending champions West Indies will open their campaign against host New Zealand in the inaugural Group A day-night fixture of the Under-19 Cricket World Cup. The campaign will feature 16 teams across 7 venues in 4 cities: Christchurch, Queenstown, Tauranga and Whangarei. Bangladesh, Canada, England and Namibia comprise Group C, while two-time champions Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Asia qualifier Afghanistan and Europe qualifier Ireland from Group D in what is the 11th edition of the tournament and the third to be held in New Zealand. Before ending, the headlines are once again. Trump's crisis spurs talk of White House departures. China military criticizes wrong US moves on Taiwan South China Sea. Baltimore removes 4 Confederate statues after Virginia rally. Saudi border to open for Qatari pilgrims attending Hajj. Prime Minister meets President, discusses flood situation. And Bangladesh youths in Group C in ICC Under-19 World Cup. This is all for now from Millennium Daily Newsroom. To get any kind of news, please log into facebook.com/MillenniumTVUSA and youtube.com/MillenniumTVUSA. Besides, to get the most updated news, please visit to our website www.millenniumtv.net. Stay with Millennium. Allah Hafiz.